Okay, bien. Okay, wonderful. Okay, thank you guys all so much for coming, and thank you, Apollonia, for giving us a reboot in this space and for so much of your attention to detail today, for bringing Alma Verde. I also, that has brought us this lovely fruit with yogurt. Also, thank you so much to Bancambios, who has been a sponsor for us for the last few weeks and helping us keep your glasses filled with coconut water and wine. And all sorts of other lovely treats. So yes, we're here at the NFT Boutique, and one of the things that we're really passionate about here is about how Web3 can really change the world and make a positive impact. And for those of you that don't know what NFTs are, we've got them all around you. These are all NFTs for the most part, not that one. NFTs are, as you can see, they're digital art, but they have what's called utility behind them. And for us, one of the things that we really like to showcase is what NFTs can do for good and the positive impact and change that they can have. We right now are highlighting a beautiful project. I will let Mayeli go into it, but it's Healing Coral, and it's about the regeneration. Hola, Fernanda. About the regeneration of the coral reefs, and using this amazing technology that we have now to fund those projects. So Mayeli, and let me know if you guys can hear Mayeli, okay? Hola Mayeli, aquí estamos. Somos como unos...
Hola, ¿qué?
Hola, somos como 8 aquí, así que vamos a hacer la plática en inglés. Yo creo que la mayoría habla en inglés, pero en inglés y en español.
Sure.
So, Mayeli, tell us a little bit about
¿Quieres
yourself.
que lo diga todo primero en un idioma y en otro, o lo digo todo en inglés? ¿Tú me ayudas a traducirlo para allá?
¿Puedes hablar un poquito más alto o tienes un micrófono que se podría amplificar? Ahí
¿Qué tal
está,
así?
mejor, súper. Ok, bien.
Okay, perfecto, okay.
Everybody
So,
here?
would you like me to speak in English and to explain everything in English, in just one language, or do you want me to come back and forth English, Spanish?
Nosotros nos gusta hacerlos bilingües, así que me gustaría en los dos idiomas.
Vale, pues si la mayoría hablan inglés, creo que me sería más fácil explicarlo en uno solo.
Okay.
Y una breve explicación para que no se extienda tanto, tal vez, de lo mismo en español, si la mayoría son parlantes de habla inglesa.
¿No? Okay, we're going to do this one in English. Okay, yes, Mayeli, please go ahead.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, because I know it's very challenging to want to approach to something that is very new. A lot of people, when they have their first encounter, it's very challenging and a little weird sometimes to try to fit in somewhere that is completely new. So for everybody that it's been here for just a little while, and for those who are completely new, welcome. And I'm really excited that you get to hear from our beautiful project. As Sandra was explaining, NFTs are these assets, right? And we want to use them into a holistic approach to be able to heal the relationship that we have with the blue planet. All of you guys that have this amazing, beautiful space in Tulum and can actually enjoy the ocean can all agree that the ocean heals you, right? Like every time you take a look at it, you breathe the air, the salty, the delicious smell, the food that it provides, and being able just to jump into the ocean and forget about all your problems. It's just an incredible feeling. So we believe that the ocean heals us each and every time with everything that it provides. So what we want to do is pay it forward, right? Like how can we heal the relationship we have with it, since we have been continuously hurting it in different ways? So approximately 2020, like December 2020, the founder, her name is Lina Carvajal, wanted to make a trip to one of her favorite islands. The island is called San Andres, I don't know if anyone over there either has been to San Andres or maybe in the Caribbean where you are right now have had the opportunity of diving. Anyone there?
Diving, yeah, San Andres.
Yeah, sí.
¿Conocen San Andres? Sí.
Colombia? Sí. Oh, wow, I never been on Colombia.
No,
Oh,
it's
no.
here.
Oh, San Andres is here. Oh, wow, awesome.
Right? Is San Andres in Mexico?
¿Perdón?
Is San Andres in Mexico?
San Andrés en Colombia.
Es en Colombia.
No importa, pero si han podido bucear, ¿han buceado en alguna parte del mundo?
Sí, yo creo que unas cuantas de nosotros sí. Yes. There's a few of
Qué
us that
padre.
have been diving. Yeah, actually, I think quite a few.
Es
Almost
increíble.
the majority of us here, Mayeli.
Nice. Pues básicamente yo también he tenido la oportunidad de bucear. This incredible opportunity of diving, especially where you guys are, allows you to meet one of the most important coral reefs, right? The Mesoamerican coral reef, which is like the second longest that there is, and it's still alive. So basically, from visiting the nature, going to San Andres, the founder who loves to dive, discovered that the reef was dying, right? That there was this bleaching going on and there was like this major impact since in this same year, the 2020, when we were all in the pandemic times, me acuerdo que todos estábamos aterrados en nuestras casas. Quienes tenían la oportunidad de estar en la playa era como lo mejor que te podía pasar because it was so relaxing to actually live right by the ocean. But everybody was terrified, and in Colombia specifically, there was like it was the year with the record of natural destruction, since there were different, like about 30 different tropical storms. Thank you. And then two of them were very, very hard on the coast. Destroying practically, like, let's say a lot of it, right? And turns out the reef is actually like a natural barrier from all these kind of disasters, tropical storms and hurricanes. If we don't take care of them, approximately 1 billion people actually depend from the coral reef, the Mesoamerican coral reef. So from reefs, mangroves, and all that lives inside the coral, it's going to be put in danger if we don't take care of it. So the proposal is to be able to gather and combine this incredible technology that we have right now at our hands with the heart and the consciousness of actually changing the way we behave, teaching the people in the coastal areas about the importance of taking care of the way they fish and how they behave and how they can take care of their surroundings, as well as tourists. Because if there is not a change within our activities and how we see it, we are not going to be able to achieve the protection and conservation and restoration of our marine ecosystems, which is shocking because we're talking about 175 billion yearly that is needed to actually be able to do that. And if you take just the 4 years between 2015 and 2019, you're going to take a look like at the ODS 14, which is the ocean, like the law that supports the ocean. It only got $10 billion. So from 175 yearly that you need, and you're only getting 10 in 4 years, then we're so far from it. So by inviting people to be a part of this restoration conservation through the purchase of NFTs that are not only this gorgeous, incredible art, just like what you can see over here in the boutique, just like House of Panther, what we want is to actually give this money to the restoration of our marine ecosystems. So when we're creating our NFTs, what is very different from any others is that it actually is an asset that is backed by nature. What this means is that every NFT that it is created, it actually has an important development that has been going on for years through our different organizations that are part of Healing Coral. And you are actually backing the conservation, the coral farming, and the restoration of specifically right now the Mesoamerican coral reef, but everything that is surrounding. So great artists, worldwide artists, very famous in the, like, let's say the regular world or the normal world, are actually coming and wanting to be a part of it. So you have really good art, very good artists, like very well known, with this beautiful heart on this project, who actually wants to make a difference. And then you have education, art, Web3, all combined to be able to save our beautiful reef.
Amazing. Can you talk
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, well, tell us about the art, the artists.
Okay, so we have two right now. I don't know if anybody is able to take a look at our website.
We could look at it on our phones.
I don't know if it's...
Everyone is very attentive right now to you on the big screen.
Okay, so Deep Hadra was the first one that created some NFTs. These ones were created more for like big foundations. And his artwork was on creating pieces that metaphorically represents the society's contest quest for voice against oppression. So that was a very beautiful one. He's a journalist, an activist, and a visual artist. He actually works with us with a lot of the art that is used in our communications, from the colors that we use, what it means, etc. It's beautiful, and we're very happy to have him. And then another one that is working with us very closely, that just worked with us, is Juan Cabelli, who is a Colombian artist, an independent curator that is currently living in Bogota. And his art piece is a part of our short film. In our Healing Coral website, which is healingcoral.org, you are going to be able to actually see this piece of art. It was launched at the United Nations event and the Nature for Life Hub in 2022 in November in New York. And he used artificial intelligence to explain the project of Healing Coral in this incredible frame in this Nature for Life Hub, where we were invited and selected as one of the 10 most disruptive and innovative projects to close the funding gap for marine ecosystems regeneration. There's more coming, but that's as far as I can talk right now.
Beautiful. And what is the utility, or is there additional utility for the purchase of the NFTs?
Well, right now you can find them in OpenSea, which is like one of the most used ones. We're actually launching in a different platform, but we haven't actually done that yet. It might change. So what I can say right now is, if what you would like is to become part of it, you can just try to contact us through our different lines, which would be Twitter, Instagram, through our website, or through me, which I would love to. And we can actually help you too whenever the next one is completely launched through our website. And I can accompany you to the purchase of it in case you are new at it.
Wonderful. And do the NFTs come with a benefit for the holders?
Well, yes, actually, well, it's not only like the fact that you're backing this nature and it's a recognized artist, but what we're trying to do is to be able for all the holders to actually have some type of governance. Since the next ones are not open for purchase yet, the whole explanation about how it's going to work, it's still a little bit determined in we need to make the final twitches. But what we want is our goal in 2025, be able to make herself a DAO, a blue DAO, so that every NFT holder can actually be part of the decision of how are we actually investing the money that is being created by the purchase of our NFTs, so that everybody can have as a one brief that we all are participation into actually taking action of how the money is being used. And anyone that has a project and would like to actually join this movement can actually do it through the website as well. So you can be an artist, you can have an idea or an organization that already is helping this same view and our values and become part of it.
Beautiful. Does anyone have any questions for Mayeli? Yes, Diana.
What is the name of the website?
The name of the website is healingcoral.org, correct?
Sí, en efecto, healingcoral.org.
Healingocean.org?
Healing Coral.
Coral. Healing Coral.
I see you own healingcoral.eth.
.org.
But also there's
.org.
You can buy .eth, just the new Web3 domains. I think I found your OpenSea.
I have a question too. This is Apollonia here. Nice to meet you. Mayeli?
I think maybe you have
Yes,
a little bit
I couldn't hear him.
Oh, no,
Yeah?
nice to meet you. This is Apollonia.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you. I have a question because I'm a newbie in this space. So when you say that they get to be part of a DAO and the governance, is that we get to be part of the decision making of what?
What does DAO means?
Well, what does it mean when I'm in a DAO and I'm part of this governance? What does that mean?
Ok, perfecto. Es una muy buena pregunta. Cuando eres
Gracias.
parte de una DAO, ¿qué es lo que significa no tener gobernanza en ella? So, since we're all used to actually being on a regularly when you're part of something, there's a range, right? Like there's always like these categories of who goes on top of who because of the importance of their roles. In a DAO, when you're invited to it, it's because first you share the same values, you want to achieve the same goal, and you want to be a part of it. The beautiful thing about DAOs is that you are able to do it, most of them, just by asking, and just like that, then you can become a part of it. When they tell you that because you're a part of it or because of owning something from it allows you to have governance, that means that when important decisions are being taken by the whole organization, those who have this governance, it's like you have a vote. Then you have a saying. So in a DAO, everybody's voice is heard. However, for the important matters, which is most of the times like how is the money being invested or how much is going to be paid for the new members that actually work, right? There's people that are part of the organization and people that have to work for the organization for it to actually thrive. Most of the times, it's not a lot of people working for, but when we're talking about money, most of the times, not exclusively, but for big decisions, most of the times there's a discussion going on, like a question that is being asked in a social network called Discord. Most of them use that one. And then you can vote. Anybody that has one can vote. Or you can just give your vote to someone that you think might know more than you.
So yeah,
that's having governance. You decide.
Autonomous organization. So essentially, you set up the governance beforehand, which are the rules by which you decide how you're going to come to decisions, whether that's holding one NFT or multiples or gaining certain tokens by taking actions in support of the organization. And then that gives you the certain amount of votes for those decisions in terms of how the money is spent and allocated primarily.
But
Exactly.
sorry. Please excuse me, I'm just asking a question here. So now I'm in a governance. I purchased this NFT and I've been invited to be in this DAO. Where
You're in the DAO already. The
I'm in the
governance, the governance is decided with the members that are setting up the DAO, or you can also be part of that structuring as well.
like an advisor. If
It's
I have a certain
it's
value.
like a complete, a real democracy where you have a vote and you're part of building that organization. You have a say.
And then you said something about a token, so I got lost then. Because that's the next step, or is that what you purchase after? That's what comes with it.
So it could be either you're rewarded with tokens,
Okay.
so you take certain actions, and so let's say you have 50 tokens, that enables you to have 1 vote. If you have 100 tokens, maybe that's 2 votes. Or an NFT could represent the same thing. So you could either have NFTs or you could have tokens.
So silly me, I'm thinking of like when you go to a carnival and they're like, these 5 tickets get you this, these 10 tickets. That's how the tokens work. Right?
Yeah.
Or the way miles work. Like just because something's 500 miles away on an airplane, you don't use those miles. It's going to be 15,000 miles.
Mhm.
So you took the token.
Yeah.
The tokens
But they're not used up. Like in that model, they're used. If you have the token, you always are able to vote. You're always part of that DAO.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, or the NFT.
The NFT. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and it can be used also for, I think a really interesting one is City
My pleasure.
DAO. You've heard City DAO, like so City DAO wanted to do an experimental, city, a decentralized city. And so the people that were part of that DAO actually voted where they were going to purchase land to set up that city.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
There's a lot of different models, but it's just sort of just scratching the surface.
I had a question.
Go on.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm a fashion designer. My name is Diana, and I'm working with polyester, but I want to work with recycled polyester, and I paint them. And I want to grow the image for recycled plastic, like for recycled material in the fashion industry. And actually, I'm looking also for a project where it can be. And this could be maybe a very interesting thing for me too, to be a part of this, because the most plastic is in the ocean and the most recycled fabrics which exist are from ocean's plastic. So this could be a really interesting thing. I don't know if you have also like in fashion some NFTs, or you could maybe be interesting in those kind of brands who work with you. Is that maybe a future vision?
Did you hear the question, Mayeli?
Yes, I think we actually right now are not working with anyone in particular in that sense. However, it's very interesting to hear like all these proposals, new ideas. So in order for us to be able to make it, like to find a way in how to maybe approach your vision and give it the same sense, we can definitely keep on talking about it. And I would be more than glad if you would want to reach out to me and in a 101, maybe try to together see if there's a possibility for us to work together.
Yeah, I will definitely also check the website out. I found out here an email from someone who is doing the partnership, but I will also text you. And so then we can keep in touch later.
I'll share your contact information, Mayeli, and also if everyone wants to join our NFT Boutique Telegram, that would also be another way to keep up with our events and also connect with each other. Any other questions for Mayeli?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Naomi. Nice to meet you. If I wanted to buy your NFT on OpenSea, what's your floor price? Because I've just been on the OpenSea, none of them are listed. So would I make an offer, or is it a min price is 0.05?
I am so sorry. There's a lot of echo and I couldn't understand the question. Can you repeat, Sandra?
Naomi was interested in making a purchase, and she wanted to know, it doesn't look like any of the NFTs are listed. Do you know what the floor price of your NFTs, would it be possible to make an offer on any of the NFTs that we see on the OpenSea marketplace?
These ones were created for a specific purpose. Right now, they are not open. However, I can see if maybe we can just accept offers. If you want to make an offer and make a bid, then maybe I can try definitely to see if there's something about it. Let me check up on it. What I do know is that we're about to launch our next one. So I would actually suggest that maybe let's talk on a one-on-one, and whenever that we're gonna actually have our next ones for sale and be completely open, you can definitely get one of those. However, we can check about these ones because as far as I can tell, they're already in someone's position. So thank you for trying to buy one from us. I love if you would like to make an offer, please do it, and I'm gonna make my best. We want to. Is everything goes towards the same purpose. So definitely make an offer and I can try.
Okay, we have another question for you.
I'm just trying to understand how this whole thing works. So you're selling NFTs to kind of raise money to fund projects to regenerate coral in the ocean, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's almost like, are these like organizations that you're working with, like nonprofit organizations, and that's how the money's going to work? Okay.
Yeah, they're all nonprofits, correct, Mayeli? That are, so your what I understood, Mayeli, is that your organization connects all these nonprofits that are actually doing the work on these different coastlines and doing the planting of coral and the restoration. Is that correct?
That is exactly correct. Definitely. So the different programs that we have, they are all nonprofit. What we're trying is to be able to support and to fund those organizations. So, for example, right now we have something called Mar Wisdom Center, which is the creation of healing coral. This is not something that existed. This is something that we created, unlike the coral farm that is at Cozumel, which is something that has been existing since 2015, if I'm correct. Basically, all these different organizations, they have a target on education, restoration, conservation, and they're all like a nonprofit organization. What we want is to be able to support them. And the way that we want to be able to be sustainable and to make it easier to close the fund, like this gap of funding, is by actually the creation of these NFTs. So this is going to be our sustainable way of, instead of just waiting for people to want to donate, to actually allow them to have something in return as well, which is as beautiful as an NFT created by an incredible artist with an amazing view. And they are actually very finely, very beautifully curated. So then your money is actually going towards either a project that already did a lot from years past till now, and the promise of those new organizations that will want to become part of Healing Coral and who will have to prove that they are actually doing what they say they're doing and to make this a better world. So I don't know if it answered your question.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, so if I buy the NFT and the money's already donated, and say in the future I would have a say, a voting right or whatever, but what if I decide to sell the NFT? What happens then?
You lose your voting once you sell. I don't
think it's transferable now.
Yeah.
I think it's transferable.
Yeah, but as you only have the voting rights as a holder. Is that correct?
Well, it depends also in the kind of contract that they have.
Any other questions for Mayeli? Okay.
Are you going to partner with any other projects in Australia, or you've already broken with all the non-profits, I guess?
Are you partnering with projects in Australia, Mayeli?
Not right now. Basically, the project, because we just started, what we are is focusing on the Mesoamerican reef and the Caribbean Ocean. So let's think from Mexico to Colombia, you can think of all that. But what we want is to actually be able to expand. So even though Australia has this incredible, huge reef, and like it's very important for us to connect them, we believe that to actually be able to expand, we need to do things right here. And once we get it right, then we can actually start expanding our model once we try it and actually prove that it works. But definitely it's our goal. We don't want to just stay in this tiny piece of the ocean. We would love to see these changes all around the world, right? Even as far as Australia.
Do you have projects in Australia?
No,
You're from Australia.
no, there's they've got the Great Barrier Reef and they're doing something similar, I heard, to recuperate that reef as well.
Mhm.
So.
Great.
I have a question.
Okay.
What percentage goes to coral reef, or is everything going?
What is the percentage of the mint that goes to fund these projects, Mandy?
So we're talking about 70% of it, around 70, just going towards the whole purpose, leaving just the space for the artists and for the organization itself. Right now, each project of NFTs is actually going to have a different approach. And whenever that it's being launched, we're going to be able to let everybody know as a decentralized organization and very transparent how is it that everything is going to be projected and actually how much percentage of each is going to whom. But it will change with each one of the projects of NFTs that we keep on releasing.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
In general, as an overall, we're talking about a 70% percentage of the whole budget going towards the impact.
Beautiful. Anything else? Okay, Mayeli, well, thank you so much for joining us here in the metaverse. It's been so beautiful to learn about healing coral and the work that you're doing and using this amazing new technology to help heal our oceans, which are so in need. So really appreciate your time. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you when you're here in Tulum as well.
Definitely, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for all the engagement that we have had here, and loved the connection between women. I can hear all of you girls being very curious about everything that is going on in this very crazy world that is changing a lot very fast. And I think Web3 Women Nights is incredible. I wish they can always exist, and I love this space. So that we can actually be there for each other and propel all our values in our projects.
Absolutely.